Prestige.
Worldwide.
Welcome to Sundee Coffee Club on a Tuesday night. And obviously we're not drinking coffee at this hour. It's Sun Tea Club. Do you reckon that fits, boys?
Yeah, better than Sun Water Club, which is what I'm on right now, because I'm absolutely boiling.
If you're wondering why James is wearing sunglasses, it's because the fame has gone to his head. Already, we've done one podcast and he thinks he's fucking Chris Williamson, so...
No, let's be honest, it's like Saturn and there's rings in you, and I am partial to a migraine, as embarrassed as it sounds. So that is why the Stevie Wonders have come out tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you can feel it all over tonight.
So yeah, we're recording this on a Tuesday night. We did try and record one on the weekend, but we had some major technical difficulties. First one was the sound, and then we tried to record with two phones, and they both came up with storage full, even though the storage wasn't full. So don't know what the story is there.
Cheers, Steve.
But yeah, we're doing this on a Tuesday night. We've just been pre-season training. Absolutely Susan fucking boiling. What was it, 32 degrees?
Oh, Robbie Savage. It was a good session, though. It was a good burner up in the hills. Bit of a sprint training, 45 minutes running for as long as you can. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Good to mix up the pre-season venues.
Speak for your fucking self, but I think my heart rate got to 191, which is, like, theoretically, that's above my max heart rate. So I was like borderline cardiac arrest at the top. I was fucking shivering, but...
I had the same. That's why you know something's not right. When it's that hot, you're doing that much running and you start shivering, you know you're in trouble.
You're in shit street today.
Dire Street.
We are not built for these conditions. Anyway, moving swiftly on then. So today's episode is about Australia. Because obviously we're all from Wales. We're all from the same village. Even though James likes to pretend he's from Llantrisant. He's from a place called Pontyclun in South Wales. And we've all ended up in Perth in WA, as we mentioned last week. So yeah, today, a bit of an unfair test, I suppose, boys. But we're going to try and talk about Australia as a whole. Even though it's fucking huge. And we haven't seen... Well, we probably haven't seen 1% of it. I think Judith Chalmers on my left is having a good go this next year now, so...
Good question. Who is Judith Chalmers?
She does a lot of travelling. Michael Palin's a better.
That's a better one.
Yeah,
I got that one.
Showing my age by now.
Yeah.
Let's kick off then with a little bit more depth on our backstories. So, Jimmy, you gave us a bit of an insight last week. What was the moment where you were like, right, I'm going to Australia?
It was always in the back of my mind, and also Tasha's mind. She was always keen to move away. And then following COVID, having 2 years pretty much stuck in your house, stuck in the bedroom, after that, we really had the bug to want to leave the South Wales bubble. We initially looked at Toronto, because I've got family over there. And then we also looked at Australia. I dropped Jason McConnell, our good Irish friend, a message.
Top man.
Yeah, good bloke, good naked wrestler. And he suggested Perth, and he put me in touch with the coaches at Palmyra. They offered assistance in various areas, and we thought, sounds like a good deal. So applied for the visa, the working holiday visa. We both started on that. Quick turnaround. Once that was accepted, we booked the flight. So it was more a case of wanting to see what was out there, wanting to get away from the rat race, the usual stuff of school, university, house, French pug, and then... That's it, kids. Yeah. So we wanted to try something new. And I'm sure that's what a lot of people are thinking. I'm not sure if that's what you boys are thinking as well.
Well, I'm just going to ask there, did you have a sort of plan in terms of like length of time, or were you just going to come out here, just give it a go for a X amount and then just...
Yeah, the latter, pretty much. As long as we were happy, we were just going to go with the flow, see what happened job-wise. If we weren't happy, we were only a plane ride away and we could have gone home.
A point I want to raise is, are all pugs French?
I haven't heard of a French pug.
Yeah, they bark in French as well.
Huh?
Aye.
I need croissants for breakfast, like. You might have seen me pulling the face as I finished my tea there. That's because Saus made it. You've never ever seen a man consume milk like Saus.
Right,
Fucking unbelievable. Talk about his ketchup consumption. The milk. I've never seen anything like it.
Right, well, I'll interject, but there, you ungrateful bastard.
Thank you.
That's your last. I consume a moderate amount of milk. I like to keep my calcium consumption up. That's why I haven't broken a bone in 14 years.
Touch wood.
And semi-skimmed as well.
Get it?
Well played. But no, I do get quite heavily criticised for my milk consumption in this house. I think it's unfair, it's unjust. I put up with it because, you know, I'm in here 1 week out of 3, so if you were to average my milk consumption out...
You still have more than the 3 of us put together.
Well...
In one day. Honestly, like, I made a fucking Instagram post the other week, didn't I, about not commenting on what other people are eating. But what it was, technically, was, I think, twice before commenting on what other people are eating. I've thought several times about this. You drink too much milk.
Right. So my condiment consumption is out of control. The milk consumption. I'm sure you'll have an issue with the honey as well.
Oh yeah, use the honey monster as well in this.
I like a drop of honey with my breakfast. You know, if I got some Weetabix, some All Bran, bit of porridge, just a little drop of honey for sweetness. But no, that's wrong as well.
You went through a phase of stealing protein as well, I think.
No. That was always asked.
Caffeine shampoo, that's been going down.
There you are, tangent number 1. We've gone off on a waffle there.
You haven't touched my my curl, what's it called? Hibiscus curl.
No, I haven't touched your pube
curl
cream, but
enhancer.
no, I haven't done that. That's all you are.
My bum hair is looking fucking lovely.
Tie knots in the fuckers.
But no, for context, so Saus has a bowl of milk, like to the brim, a side of honey, and a dash of All Bran. About 5 grams. There's no space in the fucking bowl for any, so yeah. Moving swiftly on. So Saus, I'll come back to you. You look fucking tamping there, but I'm sorry. Let's go back to our story then. So we could go on for fucking hours about it, couldn't we? But let's go back to, you know, the moment where, because I think initially you were gonna just come over for a trip when you went to see the boys.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure what I touched on last week, but yeah, so 4 of the boys came out here 6 months prior to me and you. And then that would have been, that we came out in October and was planning a December trip to Sydney. I was going to try and have, I wanted about 4 weeks off work, but work would only give me 3. And that didn't really sit right with me because I sort of wanted to not be under any restraints on that trip. I wanted to just, you know, do whatever I needed to do, whatever, and yeah.
Party hard and all night long.
Yes. Try and send it for 4 weeks. But yeah, anyway, so work refused the length of holiday that I wanted. Then got talking to you a little bit more. In the village, got some ideas together. Started, you know, having a couple of chats after a night out, and then we eventually we turned that into a little discussion over a pint, and then started getting some ideas together. But yeah, no, it was what was meant to be a trip. You know, I would have saved maybe £4,000 or £5,000, and then you know, I thought realistically I could spend that in 4 weeks
on milk,
on milk, honey, and to be fair, if you listen to Reese, 1 box of All Bran lasts me a month. So, but no, yeah. So I thought like the money I would have saved might have all gone, and then I would have come back just obviously with no savings. So it just, yeah, financial situation sort of made it a bit more viable to take the risk because obviously, you know, I had nothing keeping me home. You know, not to sound too sort of morbid with it, but you know, prospects were not bleak, but they weren't particularly brilliant at the time. So yeah, something, you know, the chips fell that it was possible to have a look at moving out. Obviously, when you've got a couple of mates over here already, you feel a bit confident to give it a go because obviously, you know, you're not starting on your own. Coming over with you, and obviously one of the boys, Jamie, helped quite a lot because, you know, you're straight into Airbnb, sharing Airbnbs, splitting Ubers around, you know, obviously still spending quite a bit and a little bit out of control when you first move over here. But I think, you know, having 2 boys to start off with helped a lot.
It does help a lot, yeah. It's think it works both ways. Now, if you do it on your own, you can completely reinvent yourself, and like no one's got a preconceived idea of who you are, etc. But then, yeah, if shit, it's a fan. It's nice to have mates to fall back on, I think.
Well, I think obviously we'll touch a bit more later on as well, but I think that what you just said then about if you come on your own or if you come with mates, if you come with a partner, out here you can make it work either way. Pros and cons to every situation. But yeah, if you come out with mates, great, because straight away you just got that little bit of support, which is important. But you do maybe then lose out at some of the opportunity to try things yourself. But you can make up for that as well anyway. And obviously I didn't come over here with the missus. Might leave that one for you. Don't know if that's below the belt. Do apologise.
I had a bit of a downgrade, to be fair. No offence.
I maintain lateral, but he says downgrade, so who am I?
Who took the first official step out of both of you then? Who went for it? Who booked the flight? Who triggered it?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was just a conversation down the Pipeworks, one of our local bars in Pontyclean, and obviously I knew Reese because he was working in the gym I was going to, and you just got chatting generally about it, especially after the boys moved over. And I think I just asked him, is he still planning on going to Australia? And I can't remember the exact conversation, but it was just something along the lines of, we could discuss this another day.
Yeah, well, I think I kind of pushed it, didn't I? Because, I was initially supposed to come over here with somebody else, shall we say, and that didn't transpire. So I just thought plan B, La Saus. And I knew you were planning on coming out for a trip, but I was just like, we had a beer one night, didn't we? And I was just like, well, have you considered, giving it a go?
And at the time, I hadn't at all, because, it was just like, right, here's my idea for a trip. Realistically,
play it safe, like?
Yeah, play it safe. I was very much in a comfort blanket. You're just doing the same things and you're sort of getting by, a little bit of debt in your overdraft, but always keeping your head just above water. And then obviously speaking to somebody like you, obviously you would have mentioned about your time in New Zealand. And obviously, to be fair, once your best mates move over here, even if you're not thinking about coming, naturally you see what they're getting up to, and it just does make you think, I might give it a go. And luckily it turned out to be one of the best things I've ever done. So I haven't looked back yet.
No, good for you, bud. Well, we'll start with visas then. So you said, Jim, it was a fairly easy process, wasn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't take too long. It is online website is IMI account, IMMI. Most people start with a work and holiday visa. So if you're from the UK, you no longer have to do those 88 days of regional farm work, which is a bonus. And you can stay on that visa for 3 years.
Yeah.
And that visa, at the time, it cost us £280, and that's for 1 year. And every year, then you spend another £280 for another year. And it's pretty simple. Yeah, just Google how to get onto it. It doesn't take too long. And I think me and Tash had a response within 2-3 days. I think you boys, you were pretty sharpish as well, weren't you?
Yeah, so I was saying I applied for mine. A little bit sort of spur of the moment, because you're umming and ahhing whether or not you're going to come, because it's all well and good saying on the piss, yeah, we'll do it. But it does take a bit to sort of have that conversation with yourself and be like, right, fucking going to give this a go.
Yeah, there's a leap.
So, I was in work one day, and I just think it might have been having a bang average day in work, might have been a bit shit, took my lunch. I just thought, right, now or never. So applied at the start of lunch. Obviously, I had an hour break, about 15-minute drive back to the branch, and by the time I got back, it was accepted. Told my manager, and even though I'd seen the email saying it was accepted, it didn't really click with me until I told him it was accepted, and he was like, "Oh, well, I'm going to need your notice," and that's when it got real.
Didn't it?
Because, I was obviously telling family that I was flirting with the idea of coming over, but again, once you get that visa accepted, you sort of know.
It's game on.
It is game on. Start looking at flights.
Yeah, well, I was about to go on a stag do. So the person I was initially supposed to be coming over here with, because it was my idea all along, and I'm just like fucking all fart and no poo with it. Like, I'm like, I leave everything to the last second. So I was about to go on a stag do, and I was very excited. So couldn't sleep. And I think we were leaving at like 3 or 4 a.m. So it was like midnight. And I was just like, fuck it, I'll give the visa a bash. Chucked it all in. I think you've got to do proof of funds, haven't you? Is it $2.5 grand in the bank?
I think it was more than that.
I think it's 5,000 Aussie.
I think it's
innit?
5,000.
Oh,
yeah,
5,000 Aussie.
So it's about half. Yeah,
and
£2,500.
it's just a screenshot. I mean, you can edit it on Canva, or you can ask
I'd never do that,
your mother to send it over.
Wish I'd have known that at the time.
Or Saus. I just ask Saus now, he fucking sorts me out. Yeah, I'll pay you back, but over the next 35 years.
That's alright, we got interest rate on it, don't we?
That's why I have so much of my milk, is in fucking shampoo.
Gotta get it back one way, son.
But no, I literally, I was getting ready for this stag do then, and I just thought it was the confirmation email that it had been sent off, and it was just fucking accepted straight away.
Yeah.
So I think they have like kind of tightened the screws a little bit, haven't they? Because like after COVID, they were struggling, so they wanted people in, and then fucking massive influx of British and mainly Irish people coming over.
I think we like being sort of in Perth. I don't know what it was like over east, but like you were hearing like more locals like Aussies sort of saying it was quite noticeable how many British were coming over.
In, taking our jobs, living in our fucking houses.
Anything else?
Stealing our women and drinking all our milk. No, the visa's easy, innit? It's easy, simple.
Yeah, it's easy. Once you go there, just book your flight. Mine was £700 one way.
Fuck knows what I was with.
What do we fly with here? Fucking Mongolia, wasn't it?
Malaysian
63 hours. No, we flew with Thai, I think. And
Is it Thai?
They were fucking quality. Yeah, we went to Bali first. And
Yes, did I.
Little stop off in Bali.
Spend all the money I'd saved to come to Australia in 10 days in Bali.
Yeah. One thing you've got to be very vigilant of when you get to Oz. Again, we've settled in Perth in Western Australia, so the East Coast is fucking 5-hour flight away, which I never realised until I got here either. But I think it's quite similar over there, but the housing situation is pretty tough and dog eat dog, so you've got to be prepared to have, 3 or 4 weeks in probably an Airbnb. So if you are coming over with mates, it makes it easier. Obviously there's hostels, or hostels as the Aussies call them, because I can't fucking speak properly.
Horrible way of pronouncing it.
Who says that? Fuck it, we'll get on to that.
Aussies.
But yeah, like again, going back to our situation at the start, Sauce. So we're hopping around Airbnbs, like you said. We spent all our fucking cash in Bali and thought we were fucking Richard Branson when we come out there. And the money pot was draining pretty quick, and you're still in holiday mode, and you're going out on a fucking Tuesday night.
Yeah, because you realise, like, back home, obviously, when you live in a home or whatever, you get 90% of things taken care of. Food. I weren't paying any rent, which is poor, but it is what it was. Can't speak.
FIFA?
Can't speak.
I was covered on it.
Can't speak.
I could have had house deposit if it weren't for FIFA. But yeah, no, when you come over here, like, you don't realise, like, everything costs. So for me, like, I was just trying to get a construction job just to get started. But even getting your basic qualifications, like, you had to get a white card, which I'm sure my mate to the right has got a funny story about.
Unreal.
We'll touch back on that in a few minutes.
Well, let's talk about it now.
Do you want to go now?
Unreal, but...
Right, so I will...
just skip to one of the stipulations of the white card. So it's like a CSCS card back home.
Yeah, just another money spinner. You need to have this construction card to get onto basically a site in Australia. Whatever state you're in. So obviously we're in WA. I had to do a specific card for WA. And one of the requisites of the card was to show you can competently put on PPE, personal protective equipment. As we just briefly touched on, start of the trip, month on the piss, month in Airbnbs, that nice buffer that I thought I had that was going to last me possibly 5-6 months, sort of went piss out the window by 6 weeks in. Went to a hardware
Bunnings,
yeah, hardware store,
like B&Q,
similar to B&Q back home,
yeah.
Australia's equivalent, and I didn't really have the funds to buy all this gear that they wanted me to competently show I could put on. So, and I don't know why Reece ended up coming with me. There was no need for you to be here.
But just to film you doing it, basically. I knew it was going to be fucking great content, so I had to be there.
So me and Reece had a game of supermarket sweep. I tried to lose the fuck around the shop. excuse me, didn't do a good job of it because he found me. And when he did find me, I was there with a hard hat, pair of gloves, glasses. The gloves were the biggest fucker because you couldn't split the pair, so they were, I looked like a right. I'm gonna choose. Right, I can't say right. I just looked like an idiot at the time.
Looked a bit of a sausage, but
yeah.
Do you have to film yourself as well?
Yeah, I'd set my phone. We're not quite like the set that we got by there. It was just like leaning on a couple of switch boxes, like, screwdrivers falling all over the shop. Fucking terrible state of affairs. So I was there putting my hard hat on, my glasses, tags up, still on top of the glasses. Gloves are on. I don't think I had to show safety boots because that would have been a bit silly, I think. I think that's where they would draw the line. So, yeah.
Ironically, that's probably the hardest part, tying your laces.
Yeah. So I managed to get away with that.
I think yours a Velcro mine, didn't he? So you're alright.
Yeah, the old Dunlops. But yeah, Reese was there filming me. I probably got a good bit of traction on that one.
Oh, if I can dig that video out, I'll put it over this, yeah.
Yeah, no, please do, yeah.
Yeah, anytime. Well, the best part about that as well, for some reason you had your passport with you.
As you do.
Yes.
So he puts it down on the shelf in Bunnings like Saus does with everything, wallets, keys, phones, fucking AirPods, whatever. Puts it on the shelf and then we leave, walk half hour away from Bunnings and I've left my passport on the shelf. I was like, why is your passport on the shelf? But
yeah, why'd you put it there in the first place? I mean,
do some strange things, don't you?
Yeah, again, like there's nothing really I can say to that. Why? I'm guessing there was a part of the course which required some sort of passport number, but
did you have to do our part in Bunnings?
Probably could have done that back in the gaff. Probably could have. Yeah, so I had a bit of a brisk walk back to Bunnings, and there was my passport on top of some, I think it was like the paint section, which was next to the PB gear. But yeah,
lovely.
That.
But then we ended up bouncing around Airbnbs, didn't we? And it was like starting to get touch and go with the funds because like we'd started work and like obviously I was self-employed and struggling to start up and get clients
and not really knowing when we were going to get any money coming in because obviously I had to do this qualification before applying for a job. You had to sort of get stuck into ringing clients in the gym, so no, it was panic stations a bit.
But then we ended up
credit card took an hammering.
We booked an Airbnb and unknowingly we'd not accidentally, but we didn't realise we'd booked the top floor in someone's house. And there was a couple living downstairs.
I hate it when that happens. So they're there whilst you're there.
24/7. And she was an absolute legend. Probably, there's a slim chance of you watching Laurie, but honestly, you saved us early on. And she was like our mother, wasn't she? She was just checking in on us. And she
was helpful, she was offering to cook some food.
That's nice touch.
We got invited to like a garden party she was throwing, which is probably where you were going to go and see how we...
But the garden party was in aid of her partner's... mother's birthday.
Right.
She was 93.
Good going.
So she said, so Laurie said to us, boys, do you fancy coming to Ethel's birthday party? And we were like, yeah, we'll get involved.
Yeah.
Pop and crisp. So we're there with the family. And then she mentioned, what's your plan? I can't take you seriously in those glasses, but sorry.
That's why I'm trying not to look at you too much this episode.
Well, I'm sorry.
But she said, what's your plan, after this? And we were like, well, we're looking for a property. And she said, well, funnily enough, we've got one popping up in Palmyra, which, unbeknownst to us, we didn't know where the fuck Palmyra was. And it's going to be available from next week. So me and him were looking at each other like, right, yes, sir, 3 bags full, sir. Making best muckers now with Ethel, having selfies with her and that.
I'll blow out the candles for you, Eth. Don't worry, I know it's too much trouble.
Keep your teeth in, love.
Don't worry about it. But a spray on our carrot cake, but they're loving it. And then to be fair, she was telling us about the granny flat as well. And to be fair, looking back, we had 2 years there. It was, it did us a solid.
It did, and I think it's probably it's the best thing that could have happened because it humbled us from the start, didn't it? Because we were skint moving into this place.
Well, she said, didn't she? We were like, we'll sort of take it as it is. Don't worry about it. Deep clean.
Yeah.
Sod's Law. I think Shane McGowan was living here before us. God rest his soul. But yeah,
no matter how skint you are, and the competition is out there, there is going to be a rental property that you would find, isn't it?
Yeah, and like we could have made something of that, but we just weren't bothered. We like I said, we were so skint at the start. It was just like, right, we can't even afford a bed, but we'll just, because it was unfurnished, so it was just get all the essentials, mattress. We were sleeping on a mattress on the floor for about 3 months.
Together?
No,
Not a fucking chance of that.
Oh, now why do you imply you would have had the short end of the stick in that one?
Just my opinion that I'm entitled to.
That you are. Yeah, and the biggest problem, well, obviously a lot of Reese's work is on a laptop. We had no Wi-Fi for a good month.
Yeah, and well, the World Cup was on.
The World Cup was on, and obviously, like, you know, when I first moved over here, I made a point of not missing any football. So I was getting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, I'd have work at 5, but I'd try and watch Wales. But I'd have like one bar of 4G in the corner of the house. We had one chair which I was standing on, trying to hotspot my iPad just to watch us draw with USA.
It was tragic, but I'd go to work all day. So I'm doing 3 sessions now, trying to get people on board. And I'm getting the bus. I was going bus, train, bus there. So it was like an hour there, bus, train, bus back. I could have moved to a different gym, but I really liked Karen up the one I ended up in.
Good gym, to be fair.
Great gym. But I'd graft all day and come home fucking deflated. I'd walk in. We had fuck all apart from this chair and table and whatever. And Saus would just be sat in the corner in the one part of the house that got 4G. Hotspot and his iPad on his lap watching Wales fucking struggle against USA.
It was it was a humbling time, to be fair. Like, you know, looking back, it was probably the most I've ever struggled.
But that's the thing. Like, people look at us and you put your best life on social media. They think, they're living the dream over in Oz, and like, I'd say I've had some of the highest highs I've ever had, but then easily the lowest lows where
really?
I've been.
I didn't know it was that bad.
So obviously, I know we've chatted, but I can't speak for you about it. But I wouldn't say for me it was so much mentally struggling. It was just a complete and utter rude awakening where, like, I had everything done for me back home, didn't have to ever worry about the things I was having to worry about now.
Yeah.
Just realised how much you took for granted. And it was just, like I said, it wasn't so much a mess, it was just like a fucking hell, like, this is, alright. No, to be fair, it was what I came over here for, to grow up a little bit and go through them experiences, but fucking, yeah, I think...
it was humbling is an understatement.
And we didn't have a car to go and get furniture, you know, it was sort of like trying to split an Uber together, go to Kmart to pick up literally like two mugs, 2 glasses, nothing more than that.
Yeah, and like, so like, you know, I was fucking 29, like, and I'm going home at the end of the day, seeing him hotspotting his phone and like going to lie on the floor on this mattress, just thinking, what the fuck am I doing?
Questioning yourself, yeah.
Even we didn't have a washing machine, so we were going down the laundrette to do our washing on a fucking bus or in an Uber, like.
I think for some reason we forgot ourselves one week and we thought, fucking, I've had enough of Kmart gear, let's go to IKEA. Which I don't think we had the facilities to do, really, but we must have ended up in IKEA, and I come back with a big IKEA blue bag.
Yeah.
And that was my laundry basket.
May
or may not still be.
Definitely
can't
still got
believe
it.
you're still using that.
And we'd literally have to jump on the bus, because the area was Fremantle, just south of where we are now. And I'd have to... It was like $2 to get on a bus to take your washing down to the thing. I mean, we try and go down together, put it on for an hour, go for a little stroll, pick a washing up, jump back on a bus, full bag of clothes, hanging out on a line. And I was rinse and repeat for about 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, and then the best time was, we'll stop talking about fucking laundry now in 20 seconds, but bear with us. Best time, we went to the laundrette, shuts at 9, so it was 8:30. No, it must have been 8 o'clock, wasn't it? So it was like about 45 minutes for a watch.
We had plenty of time.
So we thought, we'd be back at 8:45. Got back at 8:45. Literally, I'm a metre away from the door and I heard a click. Fucking went to push it. Nah. So they locked it. It auto locked at 8:45. And I remember giving it all this the CCTV fucking proper victim mentality.
If you've ever seen any of Reese's content and his golf videos, he didn't react the calmliest in our situation. But I think you said
the calmliest.
The calmest in our situation. I was pissing myself because your reaction was fucking brilliant. But you had all your work gear.
I had my work gear for the morning, so I had to get up at 5, get back on the bus, and go and get it in the morning for us. Cause honestly, fucking tragic.
To be fair though, boys, that's actually quite refreshing to hear the honest truths about moving abroad. Like
Yeah.
on social media, you just see the Australia dream and the good side of it, but that is a genuine, honest reflection of what most people experience is like when they move abroad.
And
Yeah.
what I would say to that is obviously like, you don't really want to show that side for obvious reasons, but even though, and to be fair, a lot of the boys have had similar situations. Like some people have got lucky finding a house straight away. I know a few of the other boys, because obviously, we got loads, it's quite lucky to have loads of mates out there from back home. They've struggled as well. You've got people sharing one car between 3 or 4, not always ideal, but you do get through it. Maybe, you find something, not so much within yourself, but I think if you've got your mates around you, you just do get through it.
Yeah, and when you're at that low point, you work to find a better option, and it does happen. It does pop up.
Yeah, and like for me, that was my drive. It was like the only person who's going to get me out of this is me.
Yeah.
I haven't got mum and dad to fucking help me out.
Yeah.
My mum and dad are fucking, they've got a good life and whatever. They're not millionaires. They can't go, here's fucking $5,000 to stay afloat. It was like, you're on your own by a bit.
Yeah.
Well,
So, I just think that starting from here just makes you appreciate everything more. Like what we got now is fucking unreal. And then it just makes you not take yourself too seriously, because we're driving around in an absolute fucking shit box, the Maserati, the sunburnt Mazda from about fucking 25 years ago. And you know what? Yeah, it's not cool, and I wouldn't want to turn up to a first date. And I'd just rather park fucking 500 metres away.
oh, where have you parked? About 2 miles down the road, love.
Oh no, I don't drive, love.
I walked 46 miles to here.
Yeah, it's not coming out till about date 3, that is a
What's that?
Simon.
Oh, no.
Simon the Mazda.
No, like, if you got to make sure the crack's there, and then, like I said, 3rd or 4th date, you might be able to drop Mom in Simon.
Yeah, and that's probably the last you'll see of him, man.
Yeah.
So I suppose talking about rentals and the housing market does lead us into the cost of living over here. I don't know about you, Reece, but when I went home for Christmas, I had a lot of questions around, I don't want to go, it's too expensive, or is it actually more expensive, is it cheaper, etc. So I actually done a bit of a quick comparison of the normal stuff which normal people pay for on a day-to-day basis.
Nice.
And it turns out Nando's pretty much the same.
Quick interjection, but it might be pretty much the same, but there's a fucking difference in quality.
Quality's better back home.
Nando's is probably one thing that's a bit crap here.
Do you reckon?
No.
I do like that cheesy garlic bread.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't tried that.
Yeah, it's a small portion. You might need about 3 or 4 to keep you going, but it's good.
Yeah.
No thighs over here.
Is there not? I haven't
No
noticed
thighs.
that.
They got them shitty tenders they tried to palm off, but nah.
I haven't noticed
Well,
that.
chickens don't have legs in Australia, do they? Or?
But Nando's is about the same. Fuel, so your petrol and your diesel, that is literally half price. That is so
mental.
cheap.
For some reason, on a Tuesday over here, it's probably about 70 pence a litre, 75 pence a litre.
Yeah, it's a lovely touch.
Put some petrol in after this now.
Get down there. Every Tuesday is a cheaper day, which is a great idea, great initiative. So house prices are similar, unless you're looking in like London, where obviously London is more expensive. Beer, the barber shop, they're both more expensive, I will say. But thankfully we have got Jack Sheeran over here, probably the best barber in Perth.
Yes,
I
I
don't know, but it looks like he's done this with a fucking knife and fork, doesn't it? But only joking, but he's fucking quality.
No, he's spot on, to be fair. And gym membership is more expensive here. However, all that said, salaries are higher. So you do earn more money. So I'm in a very similar position that I did back in Wales. And I am earning a decent whack more doing the same job, really. But how do you boys find like your weekly shops and the price of things?
Yeah, it's fine. In terms of...
How much a bottle of ketchup compared to back home, but
It's not bad. I think you're looking at about £2.50, which obviously, by the time I last me 5 weeks, that's fucking 50 pence.
5 weeks?
50 pence a week,
Fucking 5 minutes, I think you'll last. Be lucky to last.
5 meals at a push. You had a nice chilli last night with a bit of red sauce, didn't you?
Yeah, I cooked the chilli last
ketchup
night.
on that?
Yeah. Just right, to be fair, I cocked up on how much of the con carne packet sauce, could have said sauce packet, that I put in my chilli. So I only put half in because I thought half would be sufficient. It wasn't. It was still a bit dry.
Ever think to maybe just read the packaging now and again? Or?
Well, it says 2 or 3 amigos, and I was having 1 amigo. That doesn't sound right, does it? So anyway, yeah, my chilli did come out a bit dry. So I did just put a dust in a ketchup, literally like made a quick squiggly S just on top.
It's for sausage.
Just to make it a little bit more palatable.
That's cost of living wrapped up in it. Drinking's a bit more, it's like London prices.
Yeah, that is the downside, but
Drink's the main one. I mean, it's obviously been out for nearly 2.5 years, and it's only sort of now, when you first come over here, you do, no matter where you go, east or west, you're going to try and force a night out on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And when you do that, the money will go down quick because, it's like, you're not going to get a pint for less than £7.5-8 what would be the equivalent back home.
no, I think the cheapest I've had could be £6, yeah.
And
thinking about it.
They'll do a happy hour at 4 o'clock when there's no fucker there, so it don't really help you.
I remember when we first got here because I used my Monzo card to pay for a Corona, and I thought they charged me for two. It was like £7.42 for a Corona.
Yeah, I've had that. You got to double check.
Oh, and just quickly on a subject, because I've just had a bank holiday the weekend or the week before. They will put a 15% surcharge on drinks on a bank holiday.
They will.
Yeah. Now, they are already having your pants down, and they will stick another 15% on top.
Because a couple of restaurants do that back home, but over here it was everything.
Well, you don't mind if it's food, it's just like a one-off purchase. You don't mind that, but when you're going back and forwards the bar, and you are getting like bent over every time.
It adds up.
It does add up.
It does add up. Yeah, right. And it was. Yeah, righto.
True.
Rad, dude. The job market then, I think is, it seems to me like there's more jobs than there's jobs fucking going everywhere in there, and it's just the lack of housing that tends to be the issue, I think. But how was it for you boys getting a job?
So I landed on my feet a little bit. So obviously the first month, it was had to sort of make a go of it yourself. You just, go out there, you put in, just apply for whatever jobs comes up. Obviously, construction's a big one in Australia. There's construction jobs everywhere. So just applied for as many of them as I could, and eventually got on a building site not too far from where we're living now. But that wasn't for me. I was there on my own. In a job I hadn't done before. So that was a bit crap for a month. But I got lucky. Our good friend Ash managed to sort us out the job down the mines. And that was just by pure luck because, to get a job down the mines, you are very fortunate because it does sort you out. In terms of financially. So, and, initially, if a lot of boys and obviously girls, because they tried to, I think there's a lot more girls trying to get into FIFO now, which is fly in, fly out. Especially when you first move over here, it's a good avenue if you've got a trade because it will just boost your money. And if you can get in there with a bit of a short-term plan, I wouldn't recommend doing it for the length of time I have, which is 2 years. But it's still I'm very fortunate to have that job.
Yeah, I mean, I spent 6 months down there, and it wasn't the ideal job I wanted. But as you said, 6 months it was plenty. It sorts you out, really. It does sort you out. Yeah,
like there is drawbacks of it, and the drawbacks can feel severe, but you look at the pros, it does afford you the opportunity to do experiences and live a good life on the week off. So I work 2 weeks on, 1 week off, and the week off is pretty good. You don't really have a life the 2 weeks you're there, but you've got a good routine. You're not paying for anything. You're having all your food cooked for you. It's 2.5, 3 weeks off the piss, and a good solid 2 weeks in the gym. So just try and see the pros with it, but there are cons.
I think if you're planning on traveling, it's a good, if you're doing a proper working holiday, I think if you come to Perth, you manage to land a gig down the mines, you could work for 3 months. We're lucky, like you said, if you're from the UK now, you don't need to do your regional work, but if you're Irish or European, mining counts as regional work. So you could work for 3 months, get a hell of a pot, and then you can go off and travel wherever the fuck you want to go. Then.
Yeah, when I was doing it, that's what a lot of boys did. They did their 2 weeks. I made some good friends from France and Germany, and then in there that week off, some of them would go to Bali, and it does present that opportunity. But I'd say not everyone wants to go in the mines. And
I fucking didn't.
My bit of advice is there's two things really. So in Australia, there's a short list of specific jobs that Australia are short of, and they want you to come over. It varies from bloody a florist to a barber to a chef to a doctor. It can be anything. So have a look if your job is on there. If you've got a trade, great. And also, I'd advise applying directly to companies, not going through Seek. Don't go through Hayes, because they just don't work. They just don't work. So go direct there. But yeah, if you do have any questions about the mines, myself and Saus and all the other boys, we'll be able to give you a good insight.
Yeah, wouldn't ask me, ask them too. Well, just a little note as well. I'm self-employed or subcontractor as a PT, and yeah, on a working holiday visa, there's no restrictions. On a lot of jobs, you can only work for the same employer for 6 months, is it, boys?
Yeah, I think you can apply for an extension on that, but obviously, yeah, any one employer, it is just an initial 6 month period.
But if you're self-employed, there is no restriction. So yeah, just got to set yourself up, get your little your Australian business number, and you're away. Another point on your list then, Jim, is healthcare.
Yeah. Again, you only got to touch on it quickly because I know it's on people's minds. But over here, we've got a thing called Medicare. It's very
Which I still haven't sorted out.
Well, I haven't.
Have you not?
I played rugby for 2 years and I still haven't sorted Medicare. Yeah.
I can't recommend it highly. You need to sort that out.
I am one medical emergency away from going back to Wales.
Yeah, see, so the Medicare is like the NHS back home. It's free to sign up to. The UK and Australia have got some sort of labour agreement.
Reciprocal
That's
agreement,
the word.
yeah.
Nice Sauce.
Good word.
So it's a pain in the arse doing the forms, and every time your visa changes, you've got to do it again. However, you never know when something's going to pop up.
Oh no, like you might have a
Twisted bollock.
You
Well,
might have a giant testicle.
yeah. I mean, if you've got a twisted bollock, I mean, obviously either have a high pain threshold and just walk it off, or be prepared to pay about $9,000 to get it untwisted.
I'll sort it for you.
But these things happen. So Medicare is the word you're looking for. Very simple to sign up, although lengthy, and it does sort you out in the time of need.
This is the issue. I've applied twice and I've never heard back.
You've got to chase them, you have.
I
You've
know,
got to
I will
chase
have
them.
And to give you just a little bit of context on how important Medicare is, if you go to the doctors for a minor ailment, they will ask you, have you got Medicare? And if you say no, they will piss themselves.
It's going to cost you.
They'll, I mean, assuming, there could be a girl behind the desk, she'll go, oh, Karen, it's prick, but you haven't got Medicare. And she will piss herself laughing and go, oh.
Get them pants down with there, lovely boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, get your checkbook out.
Don't worry, the prostate exam will be free by her.
Incidentally, I think you did have your pants down on that check-up you went for, didn't you, Sauce? Or...
What check? Oh. Whoa.
I'm only joking.
Let's look.
Or am I? No, but I've got health insurance.
That's good,
HBF.
because that's also handy to have, because Medicare doesn't cover dentist stuff, like wisdom teeth, and also ambulance.
And or a chipped tooth. They will
Yeah,
they will fleece you for that as well.
So ideally Medicare with a bit of side private health care.
Side of private health. Yeah, it's worth doing, isn't it?
Big side.
Right, big point coming up next then. So let's talk about the culture and the lifestyle and the Aussie people. Yeah, it could be... we don't want to fucking slate it too much, because I fucking love the lifestyle out here. I think it's brilliant. And I've met a lot of great Australian people, but for me, boys, you look at boys, for example, right? Two things that stand out is fashion and fucking haircuts.
It's awful. It's like a time travelling back to the 80s.
Short back and my mother. Please,
Short back
right?
and shite. Oh, that bloke yesterday in Yochi.
Oh,
but
Jesus
do you know the best one? You took a Snapchat weeks ago, didn't you, of a boy and his mother, and they had identical haircuts.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. But on a side note, it's embarrassing we still have Snapchat. But for some reason, that's all they communicate on. They don't use WhatsApp over here. They just use Messenger and Snapchat. So I know we're close to 30, but it is the way forward.
Speak for yourself,
Some of
but
us are closer than others, but that's fine.
some of us are a fair way away.
But yeah, haircuts are dreadful. And then the fashion sense of the blokes, especially on a night out, they're going out in hoodies,
It's nuts. Like,
jorts.
I don't claim to be winning any prizes or walking down any catwalks, but you do see some fellas on a night out, and you're like, fancy my chances, but
Yeah, it's wild, right? Because again, like the Aussie girls take the piss out of us, because you can see us a mile off. Anyone who's British or Irish, we all got a skin fade, haven't we?
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
I think is smarter, personally, but that's my opinion. But yeah, I'm on the baggy jort train, boys, which I never thought would happen.
I have seen, you do pull them off. And to be fair, the boys over here, they do pull it off. I think they look good. It suits them. If I was to rock the jorts and a flannel shirt and a mullet, I don't think.
Well, I didn't follow the fashion trend very well as a kid, so I'm always about 4 or 5 years out the cycle, and I'm trying to bring that, like, try to close that, narrow that gap a little bit. But I'll probably be on jorts when every comes back in skinny jeans, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Unless Arsenal reveal a pair of baggy jorts before then. You'd be first one in, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That'd look good. Jorts and an Arsenal top. That'd look good on the old hinge and that, wouldn't it?
You'd have to get a bit oversized though, and you have to go like double XL or something.
But lifestyle, though, spot on. I mean, Tash used to go for surf lessons and then go to work. I mean, it opens the doors. The weather over here, is very relaxed. Your bosses are spot on.
The lifestyle is, it's probably the reason we're all still here, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's the most uplift, like, you know, everybody classically British as well. All we talk about is the fucking weather, and but it's so uplifting. You know, summer in Perth in particular, it's literally 6 months of sun. You don't see a fucking cloud, like.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, living back home for 25 years before he moved, you don't know any different. You were just used to the weather. You don't really think nothing about it. I can't really say the weather depressed me back home because I didn't know any different. But then you come over, obviously, to Australia, and the weather's pretty, you know, in the summer the weather's good all over the country, so wherever you go you're going to experience good weather, and it makes a noticeable difference to your mood.
Yeah, it's spot on. And the people working here, they're all on the same page. Like, I've recently joined a new job, and the team are also welcoming. You go on coffees every day, you go for a walk, you go out and about for a coffee. Like, everyone's so horizontal,
well, it's
spot
like,
on.
But back home, I mean, I would take the car for a 5-minute walk. Now I will do as much walking as I can, stop off for 2 coffees, which I just wouldn't do back home.
We're talking like 30,000 steps
We
here.
are
Sauce. You'll absolutely
I
love
was
it.
asking him earlier, he's done 33,000 today. His personal best is 46,000.
That's insane. Where are you walking? Like back to Wales or something?
No, just, you know, short, sharp bursts. You know, my average for the year at the minute is 21,000 steps a day.
And how's your trainers? How many trainers have you gone through? Are they all right?
No, we're doing all right. The on clouds are holding up well for the time being. Yeah. What do you call them? Hawkers or
Hawker?
Hawkers. I
Hawkers.
wouldn't want them to put the bins out personally, but I don't put the bins out.
yeah, you're not wrong.
I should have thought that one.
But no, yeah, it's just like, because it took some adapting, because like obviously we're used to, you know, an early morning for me, you might be getting up at fucking 8 a.m. like, but yeah, like you realise like Perth in particular is a very early morning kind of city. People are up and about at 5 a.m.
You've got a lot to get out of it.
Oh, and it's just uplifting, isn't it? The sun's out, you go down the foreshore where we live, just along the river, or you go down on the coast, you got fucking amazing beaches and coastline, and it's just full of people walking, running, having coffees, and that's what it's all about. Like, and I fucking loves it.
Yeah, it's very motivating in the summer.
It is. It does get hot. I mean, I know if you work construction in the city, and I guess at 37, I think you stop. And I know, but in the mines, that's out the window. And I've seen a 46 day in the mines once.
Before I flew back on this week off, I think it was 44, 43.
Yeah.
And that's in full PPE as well.
Oh, that is head to toe.
Head to toe, sweatbox.
Head to toe.
But most people these days, they're in the aircon. The city's well equipped, so don't let the heat put you off. 9 times out of 10, you'll be inside in the cold.
Mm-hmm. Do you know one thing, though, that people, that I never realised was a thing here, is the flies.
Oh, they do get bad. Occasionally.
Having said that, though, I mean, I don't know how you find them. Obviously, both working in and around the city, but not to harp on about the mines, but the flies down here are
you chewing them?
Oh, like you're spitting 4 out a day. And then, you know, and that's with a fly net on.
Fly net is a great invention. I couldn't have done that job without a fly net.
A lot of people refuse to wear them. I mean, I'll chuck 4 of the fuckers on, because
chuck them on your hands.
Like it's a lifesaver.
But they're unlike the flies at home, and they literally stick to you, and they try and they look for moisture. So it's like nose, mouth, eyes, ears. It's
like, well, I can't say it's like, because it's going to have to get cut, but it's like getting molested. It's going to have to get cut. But
is it?
I said I don't know what that's like, but I can imagine.
Yeah, I can't compare with that one.
Having something on you don't want repeatedly.
Who's ringing me?
Yeah,
my mother's fucking FaceTiming me, like.
Go on, Helen.
Yeah, cut that out as well. We don't talk about molestation, do we? Yeah.
Thanks, Mum, for FaceTiming me in the middle of that and cutting off the video again. Love you, oh. Right, what about the Aussie lingo, then, boys? Because they do speak a bit differently, and they do. Have you picked up any phrases?
Oh yeah, they chuck an O on a lot of things. I mean, we do it, but we're shortening the word though. However, over here, like afternoon goes to Arvo, Fremantle, which is a town, goes to Frio,
Servo,
Bottle-o,
Righto.
Hostel. They're just different.
Do you know, they're fucking lazy as well, because for me, right, crisps, there's nothing wrong with crisps and chips. I could even get on board if they called crisps chips and then chips fries.
Right,
but they're both chips. It's chips and hot chips. What's that about? Like,
They're stuck between
pick one.
They're stuck between UK and America, aren't they?
Yeah, they
they're
are.
somewhere in the
They
middle.
just pick and
Yeah.
choose. Like,
You know, I mean, just my personal gripe. I don't think there's much wrong with it, but like data does my head in.
Oh, and
It's data.
Durry, Duna. That took me a while. Brad Gordon had to explain
no,
that
you're
to
on
me.
about. You're on about cigarettes now. You
What
meant
is everyone-
data like data.
Yeah,
But
I
no,
know.
like a dart is a cigarette.
Does everyone call it Durry, or is that an Australia thing?
No,
I learned that in NZ.
Is it?
They call them durries and darts, yeah.
Duna, a swag for a tent.
Yeah.
It didn't take too long to get used to the lingo. You just feel a bit embarrassing saying it when you're Welsh, saying all these Australian words.
I mean, obviously back home, it's a bit of a is it taboo or taboo? I don't know how you say it, but either or.
Ironic.
Don't you think? Yeah, but you know, back home, if you call somebody a cunt, you're fucking probably getting frowned upon, because
Oh, yeah.
out here, it is every sentence.
They use it as full stops, don't they?
Yeah, you're either a good cunt or you're a bad cunt.
Fuck off, cunt.
But a good cunt is a great
A good cunt
compliment.
is probably the best thing you can be called.
Yeah.
A bad cunt is, yeah,
Look out.
look
If
out.
anyone's calling
These-
you a bad cunt, though, what's context there? You're
Oh,
a
aye.
bad cunt.
Don't think you want my take on that.
But I do think, right, the way they say it, cunt, is very, like, casual. Like, when you say cunt in a Welsh accent.
You
Like,
emphasise
if I
it, don't you?
called you, if I said, shut up, you thick cunt, you'd know I fucking meant that.
You know,
like.
I felt that, and he meant it in context of this podcast. Like, but I don't know if you might have meant a little bit of that.
I have no comment. I think, just off on a bit of a tangent, I think the way we use... I love the way we talk, boys, as Welsh people.
I wouldn't
A lot of
change
people
it.
are going to disagree.
I wouldn't change it for
But, like,
the
we say, like, you know, like, we'll use cunting and I'm absolutely cunted. I just fucking love that.
I think it goes a long way though to why we have such good banter with our mates. I mean, like the languages and the way we speak.
Oh, I can call you a thick cunt and you won't take it personally.
No,
Yeah, if you're not offending them, then you're mutual mates.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, you can say what you want to your mates. You know where the line is.
Yeah.
For each individual mate, yeah, but on the
Yeah.
whole, you are taking the piss out of each other constantly.
Yeah, constantly.
100%.
And I wouldn't like, and that is the way it should be.
Oh, yeah.
But another thing the Aussies do is they say "a," and the Kiwis do it as well. I don't know, eh?
Bloody
Oh, no,
good,
no,
aye.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right, mate. And I've actually caught myself saying it a few times.
Have you?
Mm.
Oh no.
But bit of a controversial topic. I won't be one of those people who starts talking an Aussie accent. You know the type who fucking move away. You go away for uni.
Fuck me.
You've lived in fucking Pontyclun your whole life. You go away to uni and you start talking like you're from London or Leeds or fucking...
Yeah, it's not a thing. I mean, your accent is apparently locked in from like the age of 10. So you can't be changing it. I don't believe that's legit.
I will
It's attention seeking.
I will
in my opinion.
quickly leap to the defence of people who maybe if they're in a part of the back home, if they're getting the piss taken out of them for their accent, can understand why you might need to dial it back, but on the whole, it's just not being too proud of where you're from, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree. And I think some people do it like intentionally to get like spark a reaction. Like, you sound so Australian. Oh, do I? I had no idea, even though I'm fucking putting it on.
Aye, and then they'll go back home, man, and it's like, alright, love, yeah, where you from, man?
We too, Ed.
Where-
Is it bad? Nah, lovely.
Eggy butt.
Looks lush over there, but in Australia, doesn't it?
It's a little rant over.
Yeah, well, we'll touch on another topic, and while we're on the subject of people, like we said, there's a big influx of British and Irish. Like, how there's any Irish left in Ireland is a mystery to me because they're fucking everywhere.
Yeah, I love them to bits. I think they're a great laugh.
They're great.
Oh,
But
they are.
every second person you meet is Irish.
Oh, but we went to the races in Sydney, didn't we, when we were over there for Christmas? And I'm not exaggerating when I say 95% of the crowd were Irish.
Yeah.
It's just fucking wild, like.
They dress a certain way as well, don't they?
You can spot them a mile off. They're nice, high and tight.
Sunburnt.
Gaelic football top on.
Another side note. Gaelic football tops, right? You know, there's sports out there, some obscure sports. You know, like even AFL, which I don't get, by the way. I think it's fucking crap, but...
No structure.
Rubbish. Good event, though, if you go and watch it in Optus. It's decent. Just shit sport. But, you know, there's certain AFL singlets and basketball singlets and football jerseys. Not that one's fucking shite. And you think, oh, that's quite nice. What's that? I've never looked at a Gaelic football top and gone, that's nice, I want one of them.
Yeah, they're just stuck in their ways. I think they're behind the times, aren't they? But you spot them from a mile off, and they absolutely love wearing them, especially up in Scarborough, doing a Scarborough market.
Yeah, it's just... Scarborough's like little Britain and Ireland, isn't it? It's just...
Oh, it's like Barry Island.
Yeah, it's not
in terms of looks, but yeah, it's comparable.
Far from it looks. It's a stunning place, but it is like Blackpool away. Everyone there is British.
Yeah, but honestly, like those, they do the markets tonight on a Thursday in the summer, which is a great event.
Good
Some awesome food, and you sit on the beach and you watch sunset, and people everywhere. They got music on, DJs, live singers, and people dancing. You seen that fucking bloke who dances there every week?
I haven't. I've seen the woman DJ who skates around. I've seen it as well. I haven't seen the bloke dancing.
There's a bloke every week. He's the dancing guy. He's gone a bit viral on TikTok. But I've seen a lot of TikToks of like your typical fucking Jack the Lad from Essex who's come over and he's, oh, look at this, you could be here. Or you depressed in the UK, you could be here on a fucking Thursday night. You got fucking music, you got sunset. And he's on the piss, and I'm just like, oh, mate, just fucking shut up.
On his eye horse there a bit, didn't he?
Good accent, though. You've done well,
That was a brilliant accent.
Thanks, Matt.
Fucking down.
But that's why I don't want to live in Scarborough, to be honest, because I'd come out here to get away from people like that. So if you are thinking of coming to Perth, well, unless you're one of them, I'd recommend just living somewhere else and just venture into Scarbs on a Thursday if you want.
Yeah, if you're missing home, go to Scarborough. That'll top you up. But if
you need about an hour, and then you'd be like, right, fuck this.
There's plenty of other places to go.
Yeah, and I think that's the danger in it. If, like, we've been lucky, we got a fucking awesome network out here now of like mates and mutual mates from back home. But then also like Jim and Saus, we've been involved in like the rugby club. Saus, you played a bit of football, and obviously you work and you meet this wild range of people, don't you?
Oh.
But I think one of the dangers of coming out here with your mates is it's quite easy to get sucked into spending all your time with them and then doing all the same stuff that you would do at home.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like just going out on the weekends and then going to work 5 days a week.
Yeah. Working and you know, particularly if you're doing FIFO, you know, you can go away to work for 2 weeks, you come home and you spend the entire week just going on the piss. You're sleeping in late. You're missing out on all the good stuff you can do here.
Yeah, no, definitely, certainly in the beginning of the trip, that was 100% the case. I think as time goes by and everybody just splits off, finds out what areas they want to stay in, you know, east or west, wherever they want to be. I think you can grow out to that, but yeah, initially, you know, when you are with your best mates from back home, you do fall into the routine of just like, right, we'll go out on a piss Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then you don't get to take in other parts of where you are. Yeah, that you know, you grow out of that in time.
It's wild because I know a few people who like I reckon I could count on one hand the number of times they've probably been to the beach. So for me, what are you doing here? Like, you know, it's your prerogative. You might be happy, but you may as well be in fucking.
I can't stress enough how important it is to branch out to join a club of any sort of kind, and the people you meet are the best. I mean, a good chunk of the rugby club are coming to my wedding. I mean, you make some real close friends, and there's a lot more out there than what you know. So put yourself out there, and you will meet brilliant people.
If you're lucky enough to play sport, well, like you said, just join a club, innit?
Any club. Do you know? Apparently, the biggest club this year is going to be bird watching. That's the next trend.
Is it?
You know, you got your running trend and your high rocks at the minute. Apparently, bird watching is the next one.
Gotta bite my tongue with it.
Yeah, don't say that. Hey, we're both still single, Saus. Maybe that's our calling, but maybe we need to start going to bird watching classes.
We'll have a look at a tiny pair of binoculars, is it?
Yeah, should we?
And a pair of sunglasses.
Jimmy will sort you out.
I got one or two.
Well, yeah, let's move on. We'll go on to one last point then before we go into the questions, and that's mental animals. You know, spiders, sharks, snakes.
Go on, you boys start, because I reckon this is probably going to drift towards myself at some point.
It will definitely end up with your arachnophobia. However, my personal experience, I have encountered snakes, especially sea snakes. I've seen a couple of those. I've seen sharks, emus, kangaroos.
Just touch on the sea snakes. I got like an idea of an eel in my head. Is it similar to an eel or?
No,
it's like a snake,
it's
but
like
just in the sea.
snake.
There we go.
Yeah.
Not as exotic as I thought, right?
Yeah.
As you were. Well, back to emus, I think you said.
Yeah, emus.
Why are you saying emu?
How do you say then? Emu?
Emu, yeah, surely. Like
Emus is like saying a cow moose.
Oh, what noise does he make? Emus.
Anyway, big bit of kit, run fast, ostrich cousin. And then what else I've seen? Spiders. The worst spider I've seen was actually in your previous abode, the old redback, and I've also seen huntsman in our tent when we were camping.
See, hang on now. So you think you'd say a redback is worse to look at than a huntsman, or worse in terms of poisonous?
No, I thought the poisonous, the redback was worse, but size-wise, the huntsman we saw was like the size of my hand, so it was bigger.
That.
And I was in an office meeting last week out in the outback, about 20 of us, and then a spider crawls along the ceiling. There's a couple of us back away, but then the couple of casual Australians just flick it out with a bit of paper.
I'd been having words with the cleaner over there. That should have been spotted prior to the meeting commencing. I should have.
But I think, I know you don't like when people say a sauce, but they're more scared of you.
Oh, Jim.
So you don't see them very often.
Jim, do me a sauce.
Don't start him off
Jim. Right, I'm not going to, because I can probably lose 5 minutes on this, but I will just say, anybody who's of the opinion that they're more scared of me or you than you are of them, full of shit. I can tell you categorically, I'm a bit more frightened of him than what he is of me. It could be a girl. I mean, the girls are bigger as well, so.
Did you ever watch that Harry Potter with, is it Aragog, the big massive spider?
Yeah.
Did you watch that? What was that like?
Through closed fingers, yeah. Luckily, it was back before fucking, what's it, not AI, what's it?
CGI.
Yeah, so I haven't seen Lord of the Rings, any Lord of the Rings, so I've heard there's a big fuck off spider in them. And I won't go to I think it's Watford, there's a Harry Potter experience, where for some reason they should be sued for this, but there's a big fuck off dropping spider that we just don't need to, just get a fucking wand out and move some fucking shit around and everyone's happy. We haven't got to be fucking taking a piss with spiders, have we?
When we joke about arachnophobia, like, didn't you had, I don't want to
trigger him again.
Really trigger you, yeah. But did you have like counselling before you
came out there?
Yeah,
counselling and hypnotherapy, I tried for it.
And it didn't fucking work?
It's helped a bit. Not enough, but it's helped a bit.
But like, the wild thing is, so like James said, a redback spider is poisonous. So if that bites you in the wrong place, you're in a bit of trouble, I think.
Yeah, and I think you are a bit better. But I remember your reaction to our good friend Cale and Clay. They had a pet spider. Cale had it for his birthday.
Can we just say that just again, and can we just try and emphasise how fucking weird that is? Like, just try and convey to the audience. Let's not make out, they had a pet spider. Let's go, they had a fucking pet spider.
But when you saw that tarantula, I've never seen someone shake that much.
Well, someone said there's a fucking tarantula in the kitchen. I didn't know.
It's about that big.
I don't fucking believe anybody. And two, nonetheless, the words "there's a tarantula in the kitchen" were said. I believe my reaction was, all right. It was like a gnat's cock, but at the time I didn't realise that. So there's that, and probably touch on the only thing that I live in fear of over here, because like I say, I haven't come across anything too fruity, but it would be if I was driving, and you do hear stories about where people are driving. And they just get this big fuck off huntsman beast looking thing, crawl across any part of the car, take your pick, it makes no fucking difference.
Max had one, didn't he? He had one in his
but Max is one of them fucking mad bastards who is unfazed by anything, and I would love to be that way. And I'm alright with most other things, but yeah, the one thing I live in fear of would be if there was a fucking big fucker in my car, because if I'm driving down the motorway, like, there's going to be no composure, but there's not just, if there's somebody in the car, just chill out 2 seconds, just going to calmly pull over to the left.
I hope I'm not in it.
Well, if you are, I will be literally, if there's no central reservation there, I will be on the other side of the road, and I will be, like, I will fucking be like Dominic Toretto in and out of cars until I find a big fuck off road train. I don't want any ambiguity, like, I want a fucker running through me, like, split the car in two, like, let it go.
What about sharks then? I mean, there's a big talk about sharks over here, but they control it quite well. You got shark nets, you got the helicopters.
Yeah, but then in Cottesloe the other week, a shark got inside the shark net and then couldn't get out.
Dude, someone needs to get their money back.
Oh, the irony wasn't lost.
It's the only place I felt safe, because like normally I go in the sea and I make sure I'm like not the furthest out, so someone else is getting eaten first. And then I like to think I can react and fuck off before it gets to me.
Yeah, Michael Phelps out there. Like.
But normally in the shark net, I think, I'm sounding it. There's a net, but apparently not.
The trust has been broken there. It's a bit of a
shame.
shame.
Well, you say trust has been broken. Not that I would be much caught with you if you are missing a leg or some of your calf. Could you sue the council?
There's definitely a bit of sue in there, surely.
Because there's got to be a bit of blame there, isn't it?
They've sold you a bit of a life.
You saying you would have dived in and just gone, go on, have a little nibble on that.
Suck on them.
Would I say to a shark, suck on them? We'll leave that for the dating episode.
But yeah, people don't need to worry. I mean, spiders, you don't see them very often, and sharks, there's not very good shark nets, but there's helicopters.
The helicopters do fuck all if you mind, don't they? If there's a shark in the fucking...
They'd blow him away.
Fair enough, but yeah, you alright? Oh, right.
And then snakes,
there's patrols going over, and then they set an alarm off if there's a shark.
And there's trackers. Yeah. And then snakes wise, they're few and far between. They're not in the built up areas.
I think I saw one. So Rottnest Island, just off Perth. Obviously it's an island, just off Perth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I saw pretty certain I saw a brown snake. Like I was walking down the path, and it just kind of.
They're quite spicy, they are, aren't they?
Brown one is, but that bites you're in shit straight there.
I know WA does have very dangerous snakes. I know Matty found one the other day in work, which you are brown bread if that bites you.
I don't necessarily mind snakes, but if I do see one, like, I am fucking running. Like, I'm not pissing about with snakes. Like, I'm not, it's like a little dragon lizard thing in work. When it comes out, I take a photo. Obviously, you put it on your story once, you haven't got to worry again or whatever. But, like, if I see a snake, I'm not crouching down to be like, oh, yeah, bet, yeah,
Hold still for me, but there.
Yeah, oh, you're a big boy, it's like, right, get me the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but no, it's nowhere near as bad as you think. And you
it isn't, because
you just forget. You don't see stuff until you've hit your golf ball in the bush, and then you're like, oh.
Yeah, you just don't look. Like, I did have a lot of anxiety coming over here, but now, like, nearly 2.5 years we've been here, and I haven't seen anywhere near enough to say it would potentially be a problem if somebody was worrying about it.
That's right. And they've got amazing stuff as well. Like, we've been whale watching, we've seen turtles,
quokkas,
manta rays, quokkas, the lot.
Manta rays?
They got good and bad. Yeah, they were massive for the size of a car.
That's what done Steve in, wasn't it?
I thought it was a stingray. I don't know. It might have been.
Oh, fair enough, yeah.
Either way, you don't want to get on the wrong side of these nice-looking animals.
No.
I think that pretty much ties us over. Like, we'll obviously come back and talk about Oz.
And the mines and stuff.
Every episode, probably,
Yeah.
But, we'll move on to the Instagram questions then, boys. We still got a couple to work through. First one is from our good friend, Mr. Scott Townsend, another friend of the pod. And he's asked, Saus, what happened on the roof in Portugal?
Oh, bloody hell, here
I
we
think
go.
It was Albufeira, wasn't it?
It was specifically Albufeira, and I am going to sort of have to put my foot down and bring an end to the holiday questions. To be fair, there's no more holiday stories to tell.
There has to be. The amount of holidays you've been on, you'll have a couple of stories.
Do you reckon?
100%, but I know this one's a gem.
Right, well, obviously start off with... Nan, if you are listening, probably knock off now. This don't end well. So I decided when I did my trip home about 1.5 years ago now, that it would be a good idea to fly from Perth direct to Albufeira to meet the boys. We are on a bit of a football trip. Why I thought that was a good idea, a normal person would have given themselves 3 or 4 days for the jet lag.
Bit of recovery.
But, it's all a learning curve, innit? You make mistakes that you learn from, you won't make the same ones. Try and cut the long story short. So I met the boys in Albufeira, buzzing to see them. I haven't seen them for the best part of a year. And just a bit of pretext, while I was waiting for the boys, I was going through duty free, and I come across a bottle of Disaronno.
Nice touch.
Which you don't get over here. It's a shame. Disaronno and Pepsi Max back home was the one. So I bought a bottle of Disaronno, and about 5 of us jumped in a taxi. It was about a half an hour drive to the strip and the rooms where we were staying. And somehow, I don't know why we done this, but we finished a bottle of Disaronno.
Straight?
No mixer. Between 5 of us, so, it wasn't, we done that in about half an hour, so I was well oiled. I hadn't had much in the way of sleep at all, and just carried on a night out on the lads all day as you do. I must have overindulged, which really doesn't happen often.
Doesn't sound like you. Really.
No, it doesn't happen often. Anyway, it happened on this one occasion, and so I woke up. One of the boys was kind enough. So again, another bit of pretext. The accommodation was split out all over the strip, so you weren't staying in one hotel. You were just staying in different locations up and down the strip. And one of the boys' rooms led directly on to one of the bars, so it was like a little balcony and then the roof of the bar. So I got put to sleep, and I woke up without any clothes on, so I couldn't really tell you what happened. I don't think anything untoward happened. I just woke up without. It might have been hot, my aircon might have not been working, whatever. But I woke up not on a bed, not on a balcony. I woke up on the roof of a bar.
Of the bar. Right, I'll just set the scene as well, because I wasn't there, but I've seen the video, which I'll try my best to dub over this. Maybe we'll have to blur out certain areas. But for context, so about the size of the ceiling in here, there was a hole. It was just open air, wasn't it? So people in the club can look up and just see the perfect view of Saus just up there in the buff, crawling on this roof.
I was a little bit a victim of the times by her, to be honest, because if this was the 80s, I would have got away scot-free with this. But no, we had a bit of Tom Zanetti blasting, if I remember correctly. And I'm there on this top of a roof. I haven't got a fucking Scooby-Doo I've got there. Everybody's... couple of people have clocked, and once a few people clocked, that's it then. You got a nice fucking strip full of people pointing out the twat on top of the roof. It didn't have much in the way of clothes on. And when I say much in the way of clothes, I do mean, fuck all. I was on about a 4-metre high roof. I'm not really fully in control of my faculties, to tell you the God's honest. Managed to get down off the roof somehow. Fuck knows how, because that's a big, it's a big jump.
Why did you go back in the window?
Again, I gotta be honest, Jimmy. I don't know if you've been listening to this story, but logic weren't quite with me at the time.
Right. Okay.
No excuse. Obviously, no excuse for the behaviour. It's terrible. Public indecency, you could argue. Managed to get down off the roof, and obviously the local authorities took umbrage with my actions. Put me in the back of a police van, and the police in Portugal are not as friendly as the police in the UK. They are a bit intimidating in their army gear, fucking with the berets on and all that, and they come equipped with a machine gun. And nothing, I don't care how pissed you are, when you've got nothing on, your person at the time, and you see a machine gun a metre away from you, well, not just, I'll say plural, because there was 3 other cunts interrogating me. It sobers you up pretty quick.
I can imagine, yeah, bloody hell.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was the police or if it would have been one of the bouncers, but yeah, that was my eventful night, and I woke up the next morning with a big black juicy shiner of a.
They got a bit touchy, a bit forceful. Did they arrest you and take you anywhere, or did you just run?
No, well, I to be fair, some bloke was kind enough to give me a basketball jersey, and I didn't get a chance to slag basketball jerseys off earlier, but I'm glad I didn't, because somebody kindly donated me a basketball jersey. Again, logic wasn't fully with me, so I tried to wear the basketball jersey like a pair of trousers. I mean, you got these are thin arms, and there's a big, massive fuck off neck hole. So it didn't really cover. I mean, don't get me wrong, dignity's long gone at this point, but it didn't cover up what I was hoping it'd cover up. And yeah, I sort of jumped out.
I don't know. Surely the players just to put the basketball jersey on.
Yeah, because they're normally pretty long.
They're long, aren't they?
Aye, boys, we can go back and we can analyse what I could have done better, what I could have done differently. And yeah, there's probably about 46,000 different outcomes I could have taken.
So you've got your two legs in the shoulder holes.
Yeah, fucking LeBron's upside down on
LeBron's
my fucking...
upside down.
He's upside down on my arse cheeks.
And you've got... I'm sure you've had worse.
Can we move on from this one?
But like, you've just got like, the
tackle is there.
The
like,
general regions are just hanging out the fucking
just,
neck.
I'm not going to exaggerate. I'm not going to say they were swinging between my knees or nothing like that. But like, they were out for the world to see. And I had to find my way back to the hotel. I tell you what.
So I'm assuming no phone, no.
Oh, no phone, nothing. Like, I mean, the phone was left in the boys' room, but like, lost all my clothes. And yeah, I just woke up. You've never known anxiety like it. Like, when you just wake up and, sometimes you wake up and you might have done something the night before and you're like, there's half a chance I can brush this under the carpet. This weren't one of them times.
No, that's not coming out in the wash, is it?
No, and
just like shitting in the
I say I went out with never proved.
You ain't brushing that one under the carpet.
It was never proved. It was never proved. I went out the next day to watch the Community Shield with the boys, and obviously by this point, but at about 1 o'clock, there was no mention of, because nobody knew what happened to me, and I weren't saying fuck all. And then about 1 o'clock, this fella goes, you were the boy on top of the roof last night? I said, nah, I think it was me, man. No. He went, yeah, it must definitely have been you. But I was like, nah, but you got the wrong bloke. Enjoy your day, Ben, enjoy your day. I think the boys had just gone down the street there. Go and catch up with them, you prick. And then he started showing the boys in the video, and I couldn't look for about 3 months after the fact, because I did not know what was going to be on that video. And it is an absolutely horrendous situation, like terrible. Me at my worst. But the video wasn't horrific.
It's quite complimentary, so I wouldn't beat yourself up, bud.
It's not brilliant.
Oh, it's not brilliant, but in the context of this situation, like,
it could have been worse.
I thought it was like a career ender. Like, how I didn't go viral, I don't know.
Well,
it's still time, man.
It's still time. We'll give the people what they want.
If it does go viral, I can probably live with it. Like, I've learned my lesson. Different bloke, not the same person I was in the video. But yeah, no, it was a bit on display what didn't need to be, and that's probably that's the elongated story of what happened in Albufeira.
Fantastic. We've gone on fucking too long as it is, so we'll just answer Tom Offer's question because it's very relevant to the pod. So he's asked, thinking of coming over to Oz, East or West Coast, and he's also put a Welsh flag and a rugby ball emoji.
Right, Again, because I am meet to the east side, so I can't really comment too much on the east side. You boys are in a better position for that. But I think west side is brilliant, as you may be aware. Then the rugby side is up and coming and is growing. There's a lot of people from different countries all in these rugby teams across WA. They're investing a good bit of money. The standard is good. The weather is always good. So I think I've played in rain once, whereas back home, I think I played in sun once. So the pitches are better, the skills are higher, and there's just a big network in the rugby community. And you will find a job, you will find accommodation, even a car through the rugby system. So
speak for yourself, but
rugby is the way forward. But I do know over east side, rugby is good over there as well.
Yeah, I think like the standard, certainly to compare to Wales, because most of our listeners will be Welsh, what do you say, sort of Premiership, Championship kind of?
Yeah, I definitely think that the top 4 or 5 teams in our league would compete in the Welsh Prem.
Yeah. And it's hard to compare. It's a different game, innit? Because it's a fast track. It's like summer rugby, which has just been a dream of mine my entire life, I think. So if you're into running rugby, you don't like playing in the shit.
Or on a 3G.
It's just a fucking dream. And like he said, a lot of teams will sort you out with, they might help you with flights, they'll help you with accommodation, job. You'll be on a contract and you might even get a car if you're fucking lucky. That's not in my contract, I'll tell you that for free. But yeah, I think like East Coast, I think the Sydney comp is really good. Brisbane comp is good.
Yeah, and then cities wise, you boys like Sydney and Melbourne, don't you?
Yeah, so in terms of East and West, I've never lived over East, but I've been, had a good few trips to Melbourne and Sydney. What
did you go over there for, bud?
Melbourne
a few times, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's just absolutely soured my mood, but there. Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate.
You can have my pants down there, so I'll keep my mouth
don't panic.
shut.
I said there's a dating episode coming up, and we'll go blow for blow, I think. So spent a lot of time over east, but not living there, so I can't give an accurate. But a lot of people are guilty. Everybody, even to a small extent, maybe you two and some of the rugby boys and people in and around the group who are living in Perth, is it very inflated opinions of the East if you live in the West, and is a very inflated opinion of the East, or vice versa. And the reality is, if you were going to go to any one of the big cities, they're all different and they're all brilliant. People will tell you they're shit, but that's just what we say.
Yeah.
Something's either good or something's, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. But there's, Perth is brilliant. Sydney's an amazing place. Melbourne's probably the best city I've been to.
Yeah.
If you're gonna come over here, or so what I would say was just it's going to take you probably half an hour to research each city. You'll find out what's on offer and what suits your interests and hobbies. But if anybody tells you like one of the built up areas is shit, I don't think they're being completely fair to that place.
Yeah, I do know that side of the country is more expensive for rent. I know a lot of people have gone over there, given it a go, and had to come back because it's more expensive to rent.
Yeah, Sydney, for example, would be more expensive on rent. But then, if you're somebody that wants to, Sydney and Melbourne, they are always, I don't know what the metric is for this, but they're always high on, best cities in the world to live. So I can obviously see the appeal and why people would want to go over there. But Perth, you've got the weather, the beaches, which, it's a very positive place to be, Perth. In terms of nightlife, yeah, you could say that, the nightlife, you've got to go to the right spots in Perth. Like, we sort of into our day drinking now, and that's where
it's more of a day drinking scene, yeah, and I think as you get older, it's fucking...
But if you get a day session, right, you have a good day.
Yeah, you have a brilliant day.
If you're looking to be out till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, Perth isn't the place.
No, yeah. There's a few spots in there, but it's not...
But if you want to go out, anywhere between 12 and 4, however big your session is, and you can get around some good day spots in Perth, but then over Sydney and Melbourne, the nightlife is great. Yeah. Probably depends on your age.
And it also massively depends who you're with. Like back home, I've been out in Abercombe flip-flop with the boys, and it's been amazing. So it's just who your mates are, who you're with, you can have the best time wherever you want.
Yeah.
But again, like his classic back home there, as soon as the sun's out, everyone's in the beer garden. I'm not exaggerating. That could be every weekend in the summer
for 6 months. If
you're not careful, it's fucking unreal. And we're lucky enough if you're out at sunset time, you watch the sunset in the sea. You got the fucking best coastline you've ever seen, and there's some good beers out here. The Guinness is a bit hit and miss, but like IPAs and fucking
ginger beer I've on at the minute.
Ginger beer is so refreshing, especially in the summer. Yeah. Lovely drop. But you just got to maximise what each place is about, I think. I mean, if you're more of a big city type, you're probably better off in Melbourne. If you want a mix of the two, it's Sydney or Perth. For me, I think there's a lot of dickheads in Sydney. And
Ali Carter.
Yeah, he's probably the biggest one. Only joking, Al. And I just think Perth has got the perfect mix of everything. For it is perfect, James.
Yeah, no, that's it. The nail on the head, like you said. Try places. If you're not happy, you can move. You can move back. You're not stuck anywhere when you're here.
Exactly.
You can get around.
If anything goes tits up, you're a day away from going home. Honestly, it's not a drastic move as you think it is.
It's not. No, there was a direct flight, 17 hours one way, 16 and a half.
16 and a half it took us the other day. Yeah,
that's not bad. In a
grand scheme of things. The driver puts his foot down, like.
Yeah.
But anyway, we need to wrap this up now. We'll wrap it up with don't believe everything you hear on a podcast. So I was from last week. James, we'll start with your croc. What the fuck was that about? Can you eat the croc?
No, you definitely cannot eat a croc. So the old DJ on the radio was talking a load of tosh, did some research. Obviously, you can put anything in your mouth and you can eat it.
Enough ketchup on it or milk and sauce will have it.
Don't get me wrong, if it's got mayo on it as well, he's gone. But no, there's toxins, it's rubber, it's not advised. So that is a myth which you can't believe.
Well, that has taken
fascinating fact.
Lost a bit of faith in what are you on the radio?
It has, hasn't it? It has.
Well, mine was a month of Sundays, wasn't it? A month of Sundays, I claimed that it could be you know, those 4 Sundays you got to do in church to be able to get married, and it's absolute bollocks as well. Essentially, a month of Sundays, just means a long time. So yeah, it's basically, I asked my old mate ChatGPT for a definition.
Good guy. He's very good. He is.
He's fucking, or she.
They,
them.
So it said, month of Sunday is an old idiom that means a very long time, often something unlikely or that will never happen. It comes from the idea of 30 or more Sundays, in brackets 1 a week, stretching out over months, emphasising how slow or distant something feels.
Right.
Makes perfect sense.
So are you ever going to wear a Tottenham top then, Saus?
Nah, and do you know what? I don't know. That's on about deja vu. I think last week. I seen some prick wearing a Spurs top earlier, and I'm don't know the bloke, but he's a prick. And I was thinking like, there's probably going to be some sort of angle where, like, not categorically, like under no circumstances, he won't catch me in a fucking Spurs top.
I think he was teeing you up for a month of Sundays there, and you didn't say it.
Oh, right, sorry. See, that's such as my disdain for Tottenham, like that will always take priority.
The angry cloud missed it over.
So
one fuck all in 20 years.
You haven't done much better, mind.
3 FA Cups, 4 Community Shields.
So next week's episode is going to be on fitness. As
Oh,
might have mentioned, I am a personal trainer, so boys will give you a chance to grill me, and
we'll bring some questions along. I'm
Yeah,
sure we'll
we'll,
opportunity to learn some things there.
yeah.
And I know, Sauce, you've got a good story, haven't you? Your fitness journey, you've done
Right.
quite well.
Yeah, touch a little bit on that.
But my don't believe everything you hear on a podcast this week is you got to be careful with creatine, because if you consume too much of it, it'll make your hair fall out.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
That explains a lot.
Oh, I'm going to be on a blow at the pilot after this. I've been my minoxidil and finasteride, I can see.
Hey, me and Jim have got a couple of hats if you want to borrow one for the next one.
Oh, fuck me. Look like Arnie Slot from here on out now.
Well, we'll see what the answer is next week. Other than that, thank you for watching.
I'll vow.
If the video's worked for this long, it's probably cut out by now.
I'd be surprised.
Gone early on a goodbye by this, so
I'll vow. Yeah, like, subscribe, share us on your story. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, both at Sundee Coffee Club, and then we're also on TikTok at Sundee Coffee Club _ Some fucking howler managed to get Sundee Coffee Club. It might have been me. Maybe I got 2 accounts, I don't know. But yeah, give us a follow, and tell your friends if you enjoyed.
Alright, and keep an eye out for Sunday strolls.
Oh yeah, we'll that'll be on the gram now, won't it?
Happy days.
Right.
Da
Well,
iawn.
fawr, da iawn.
ta-ra.
No star.
Good
I'm
night.
fucking tired.
Sleep well.